Well, the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook world is alive and buzzing with a couple of stories, just dying for Dave Ramsey to say something about, so I will. First is, Apple comes out with a credit card this week, and everybody's freaking out. Don't freak out. I don't hate Apple. I have an Apple iPhone it's my personal phone. I have one of the iPads, and my personal computer is a Dell. But, Apple makes some really good products, and Apple Pay wasn't making them as much money as they needed, and they're only the wealthiest company in the whole freaking world. They needed some more, and so they come out with a credit card, and there's nothing pregnant about the credit card. It's a credit card. And it doesn't have a few fees, but it's got a, 13 to 24% interest rate. It's a credit card, stupid. It's no different. It's just Apple has a credit card now. But they have more money than Egypt. They're bigger than most banks. So why can't they have a credit card? Does that mean you need to use it? Well, Lord, no. We can use some of their other fine products, but why would you fall for that crap? You're going to go in debt at 24% because Tim Cook told you to? Only if you're stupid. But they do have they have such good products. They have tremendous brand loyalty, and they'll be able to extend that and get people into debt now on a credit card. And it'll work great for them. They'll make a ton of money off of you. I'm not mad about it. It'd be like saying, I don't know, whoever. A bank has a credit card that makes $1 bazillion on you. You still cut it up. This is titanium, so it'll take a pair of cutting shears or something. You won't be able to do it with simple scissors, or you put it in your shredder. It'll probably blow your shredder up. But so. Yeah, if you're just such an Apple geek, you're just geeked out and that you really want to give them some more money, well, they're going to give you an opportunity here, and that's all it is. The other thing that's gone crazy on the internet is CNBC posted a budget of this couple making $500,000 a year that couldn't seem to make it. They were an average couple, which shows how in touch CNBC is. But and everybody's wanting me to trash these people. I don't trash, Dave Ramsey gets a hold of this, he'll rip them. And I'm like, I don't answer questions that aren't asked. If those people call me and ask me, well, yeah, I could tell them how to live on $500,000. I think you could too. And that's been the funny part of reading the posts all over the place, the Twitter posts, the Facebook posts, and everything, is that you folks can look at that budget and go, well, that's absurd. You can help them balance their budget. Because none of you are in Congress, so you know how to balance a budget. You know how to live on less than you make. You look at it and you go, yeah, I think they could sell this, and I think they could cut that, and I think the same thing. But I'm not going to rip those poor people to shreds. They're getting destroyed in social media, though. They're getting lit up, man. It's crazy. So you go viral for all the wrong reasons, So no, I'm not gonna pile on that either. I would never tell you to use a credit card, and Apple's not special. It's just a stupid credit card, and I don't answer questions that aren't asked, and so I don't jump into media phrase and tell people who didn't ask me how to live. Now, if you call and ask me, then I'm supposed to answer the question. That's the relationship I have with you, and I will tell you what's smart, what's stupid, and how you can win, and what you can do, and that kind of stuff. So I don't do that. One of the things I tell you to do is never buy a stupid timeshare, right? Because they're stupid. 93% of the people that buy a timeshare wish they didn't have one. They feel ripped off. It's an absolutely horrible, horrible, horrible product. And it's always sold in some pressure cooker situation where you went and you thought you were going to get a free room, and the free room you got was locked in with a salesman in a free room until you bought something. That was your free room. And so you end up with a timeshare, $14,000 financed that you never go, and then the fees go up every year. So we've been helping you get out of those. So I don't know if you know the story on Florida or not. I'm a big fan of Florida. I like Florida. There's a lot of cool things about Florida, but sometimes Florida does some stupid butt stuff. And they're getting ready to do one right now. So the story on Florida, you ever heard the story, I got some swamp land to sell you in Florida? You ever heard that saying? I can sell you some swamp. If you believe that, I can sell you some swamp land in Florida. It means you're a sucker. A sucker's born every minute, that saying, it's the same thing. And the reason was there was a bunch of land scams in Florida back in the day, in the 40s and 50s, where people would go down there, kind of like an olden day timeshare, except it wasn't a timeshare. It was just a land scam, and they would sell you 2 acres of land that was swamp. As sight unseen, I bought Florida property, and you didn't know what you were doing, and you got scammed. It was a real thing. People got sold swampland in Florida, and Florida became kind of known for ripping people off as a state in the name of having a vacation spot. And, of course, they cleaned the act up, and the real estate laws got into place, and they started, requiring people to not commit fraud and all this kind of stuff. And so, swampland in Florida, I'll sell you some, if you believe that, I'll sell you some swampland in Florida. I got some swampland in Florida, I'll sell you, became a saying because it actually happened. And Florida had a bad reputation as a place to get scammed. Well, one of the top timeshare locations in America, of course, is Florida. So it's one of the top places you can get scammed. And instead of fixing that, some idiot has been bought out by the timeshare industry down there and has now put a Bill 435, on the floor. So listen to me, Florida. Let your state legislatures know that you don't want to be known for scam artists. They put a bill on the floor, or they're just trying to get it to the floor, to ban timeshare exit teams from coming in there, like our timeshare exit team, to ban people from coming in and helping people get out of being ripped off on a timeshare. Instead of regulating the rip-off timeshare industry, they're trying to regulate the people who are getting people out of timeshares and keep them from operating there. Now, Florida, you gotta have more sense than that. It makes you look scummy. I mean, you're going back to the swampland days here. You gotta do better. So if you folk who live in Florida, let your state legislature know that you don't really want to be known for scamming people and protecting the people that are scamming people. For God's sakes, that's like passing legislation, government subsidizing payday lenders or something. Kind of morons. I mean, that's the dumbest thing. The bill's 435 if you want to tell them what you think of it. I just told you what I think of it. I think whoever put that bill on the floor is bought and owned by the timeshare rip-off people. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Unconscionable.